The Right to Privacy was a relatively small organization, like any other organization at the time, but after the bath raids in 1981, it really became the center of the gay community because the response to the raids was really overwhelming. So both of the big demonstrations that happened immediately after the raids ended up here at 52 Division. The first one on February 6th started at Yonge and Wellesley and moved here. The station was surrounded by a phalanx of cops who basically were afraid, I guess, we were going to burn down the station, and given the atmosphere in the crowd, people might well have done that. After being turned back here, we marched up to Queen's Park, and there was another altercation on the doors of Queen's Park as people started pushing on the doors there. That was immediately the day after the raids. The second demonstration, which was larger, we had more time to organize, was on February the 20th. It started at Queen's Park and then moved down here, and we used the little rise at that building across the street as the kind of speaker's podium, and I and Brent Hawks, Ms. Johnson, who is the widow of Albert Johnson, all spoke to the crowd.
Is a further indication that the police force of this city is lacking in discipline and proper supervision.
Well, Ms. Johnson was speaking about the death of her husband, which had happened about a year and a half before. He was shot down by police, one of the many unprovoked police killings of black men in the city at the time. Brent Hawks was talking more about the need for an inquiry into what had happened at the baths, the violence and the homophobia that had been expressed by police as they arrested people, and why the baths had been raided at all.
Idly by while the politicians ignore us, the police abuse us, and the right wing lie about us.
It was an attempt at bringing together not just the gay community, but other communities that were facing police harassment as well, and a demand for police accountability across the city. The baths had always existed in Toronto since the beginning of the 20th century. But basically below the radar. It was a place where men went and nobody much bothered with them. But it was the heightened awareness of the gay community that had come with the attempt at George Hislop running for alderman in the municipal elections in late 1980. That was the time when Sewell had been defeated as mayor, largely because he had supported, or was seen to be because he had supported the lesbian and gay communities. So this was seen as payback time for the police. Afterwards, we all saw the pictures, and it was at that point when the body politic began to look at its general pictures of the demonstration that we realized, hey, these people in the front are plainclothes cops. We know these guys, right? And then realized that they had in fact infiltrated the demonstration. People in Toronto were generally, even if they knew nothing about the gay community, were generally appalled by the kind of violence and destruction that police had waged on the community. And when they saw what had happened to other communities too, like the Black and Caribbean community, they began to put the pieces together, that we had a police force that was really out of control and unaccountable to communities.